First of all, I want to say welcome. I'm Scott Wallach with Allsmok with my partner Michael Dog. And we wanted to talk to you about what we do and why we do it. What we do is because we first got in the smoke and vape shop industry about 5 years ago. My family owns shops. I also have family in the cannabis industry as well. And with that, all of our agents and our brokers have smoke and vape shop, cannabis, hemp experience. So that allows us, more than anybody else out there in the industry, to tell you exactly what you need for your company. Product liability, general liability, property, workers' comp, E&O if you have errors and omissions or directors that you're looking at, be it a CBD company, be it a cannabis company, or your smoke and vape shops. To insure or not to insure, you're not required by law to have anything in play for insurance, but why would you not want to insure your business? By not insuring your business, you run the risk of technically losing everything via a fire, a break-in. I'm not going to just read everything that's on there. We know generally what we do and why we do it. I want to make sure that if there is a question out there that you guys have on why you should insure, I want to hear it. Or not insure your shop. Why aren't you insuring your shop now? Is it a price driven? Is it just because, hey, we're just winging it and going to see what's happening? Well, I truly believe if you own a business, you ultimately want to cover your business when it comes to that, be it anything that you do. One of the big things that a lot of our clients, when we talked to them, was business interruption. It's one of the perks that we have in our policy that allows you, if your building burns down, you have something that you're out of business for X amount of time, we want to make sure that you can get back up and running again successfully. So there's a 90 to 120 days, depending on what we can do, what you want to do from a dollar standpoint to cover that. Let's see. Why? Why should you insure? Perils. You have, let's see, fire, flood, break-ins, tornadoes. Unfortunately, as Dolores knows, here in Florida, wind and hail is excluded in most most states that are close to water and wind. So the other big one that we're actually seeing, and it's been a big conversation that I've talked to a lot of clients here and in the last few weeks, is batteries. I don't know, did anybody hear the battery presentation yesterday? Today. Is it today? Okay, today, I'm sorry. The big thing is that we have an issue with 4 batteries in the market today. That's EFEST, Imran, MXJO, and LG. We all have seen them, we've all carried them, we've used them in our mods, in our mechs. It's one thing that Lloyd's of London will not cover. Why? I cannot answer that question. Nobody will come to us and tell us why they will not insure that. My recommendation for that is look at the batteries that are insured. OhmTech, or OhmLife, VRK, I believe Samsung has a policy as well out there. Anything with that is, as long as you, the shop owner, are covered, then you don't have to worry too much, and I say that because there's more to it than you being involved in it. You're going to have your manufacturer involved, you're going to have your distro involved, you're going to have all of that. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh wow. So when it comes down to it is what I want to know, and I'll ask a few of you out here, you own shops, correct? Does everybody in here own shops? Okay. Are you insured? Everybody insured? What are you insured for? Here, I can't.
We have product liability insurance for the shops and the manufacturing.
E-liquids and such. Sorry, it was hot up there. Who do you have your product liability through?
Calco.
$1 million? Do you own shops? The big thing that we found in a product liability is, wicks, mods, coils, and batteries, and e-liquids. To me, that's one of the most important things, is that you got your batteries covered.
Keep your mic up.
There we go.
There you go. It's being recorded.
So when it comes down to that, I want to make sure that Calco has the same thing on the batteries as well, correct? There should be 4 batteries that they won't cover.
Samsung and Home Tech are the ones they do cover.
Yeah, those are the 4 that are not covered. VRK is currently insured as well. They're actually a client of ours, so they're actually a U.S. domicile now out of LA. So they are insured for you guys. And it's a good price point. That's your sales tip for the day there for those guys. There are a few companies that do product liability. We're the only ones that have a exclusive smoke and vape shop program for the United States, that we actually got to sit down with Lloyd's. Michael and I got to sit down with Lloyd's and write the program. And it was very basic. We've got all of your perils. You have shops, you have signs, glass coverage, EDP, which is your electronic data processing. Of course, if you have betterments of improvement, it's going to also carry your inventory and your business personal property. Business personal property is anything other than inventory. Okay? So anything when it comes to that for you guys, we want to make sure that you're covered. Premiums, everybody's all worried about what it's going to cost you to do. It's not expensive to protect your shop. And it's the one thing that I truly believe, even as a shop owner. I don't own the shops anymore. I pass that off to my brother. And what I've seen is prices have come down, obviously, but there's a lot of people that add several fees to it, and it gets very expensive, especially on the product liability side. Make sure that you check your fees.
Tried to get them.
What questions can I answer for y'all today?
Questions? We have a question over here. You got a question? So we talked a little bit about, Scott, about what it doesn't cover. What about hurricane?
Hurricane coverage is not covered.
Hurricane's not covered. Wonderful.
And when you come
We're in
down-
Florida.
I know. Well, and that's where also is a flood insurance as well. Flood insurance comes from the state. So that is a FEMA-ran situation when it comes to floods as well.
So is there flood insurance available for my business?
There is flood insurance, but you have to go through the state.
Okay, gotcha.
It is a state-mandated fund. Texas is the same way. We have to go through FEMA for any type of flood insurance. For example, Texas had the 500-year flood in Houston, last year. I think Allsmok, we had 3 shops. They all had a little bit of damage. When I say little, it's about $12,000 a piece, that was a godsend for what we had down there. Everything was paid on time. The adjusters were there. We pride ourselves on that. So flood insurance, I don't get involved with that, but I will tell you who to go to and how to get it. Probably between $400 and $700 a year-ish.
So I know when I was first talking to you about insurances, I had no idea of what I was asking, but I came to find out that for vape shops, there's actually two different types of coverages that I need. I need general liability,
Your general liability is your
and then product liability.
Your property, you have to have your property and your general liability. Your property covers your theft and everything with your perils. Your general liability makes your landlord happy with slip and fall. Your product liability is a totally separate policy. It's another Lloyd's policy. There are some companies that have policies out there that on pages 33 and 34, 1 through 4 paragraph says if you inhale this and it contains nicotine, it's not covered. So I would be very wary of any application that you fill out and any policy that you get. Please make sure that your agent, if it's not us, tells you what's in that policy. Because in a product liability policy, it could cost you upwards of $10,000, and if you have an event a claim, they're going to look back on that and go, well, on page 34, sections 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're not covered. And it specifically states, if you inhale this nicotine product and or for whatever through any electronic device, we will not cover you. Health exclusions, same thing. As long as you're not using diacetyl and such. If you're manufacturing any CBD products? Okay, totally different policy when it comes to that. the policies that we have, we can usually turn around in 24 to 48 hours, which is great. Questions, answers, ideas?
I'll just give you some of my questions. So when I'm dealing with my vendors, should I question them on what type of insurance that they're carrying?
I would highly recommend that if you are buying from any e-liquid manufacturer, and they probably don't want to hear me say that, I want to make sure that they're covered. I want to at least know that they have a product liability policy in play to cover their manufacturer. I would say a lot have it, and I will also say there are several that do not. Hemp products as well, you want to make sure that anything that you do in the CBD market, you deal with a domestically Farm Bill compliant company and that they are covered as well. Batteries too, obviously.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? I feel like I'm the only one asking questions. And I have insurance.
And she has insurance through us. And we are here to help. I can answer any questions. No question is stupid. I'm here to help. We're here to help you grow your business as well. We have access, once you become part of the Allsmok family, we have access to 43 states worth of e-liquid manufacturers, hemp-derived companies. We will put you with people that, if you're looking for it, we'll put you with the right people.
Anybody else? Questions? Well, Scott, we really appreciate you coming today.
Oh, thank you.
And
of course, we left Michael up there.
Michael, is there anything you want to add? I will tell you that from the Florida Smoke-Free perspective, we always recommend that our business owners, shop owners have insurance. We all know that in today's world, insurance is important. We have insurance on our house, our cars, and our businesses should not be any different. If you are a member of Florida Smoke-Free, we also have a questionnaire that we can share with you, that you can share with your vendors, and it asks different questions, and one of those questions is, do you have liability insurance? So you know the quality of vendor that you're dealing with. There's probably 15, 16 questions, and it talks about how do they support advocacy, do they have insurance, if their product comes in unacceptable, will they take it back, things of that nature. And we're happy to share things like that with you. That's what an association does to provide their members with some helpful tools to run their businesses. As far as insurance goes, I think that's all we have for today.
I think the one comment that you just made, wanting to know what that company is covered for is important, because if you're, and I just had this conversation, if you're co-packing, I don't know if there's any co-packers in here. If you are having products co-packed and you're bringing it in directly to your shop, then definitely I'm going to recommend that you have product liability on your products. And the reason for that is if you are not delivering directly to the consumer from your packer, then you're responsible. They're covered as manufacturers, but since you're touching the product after that fact, I don't know what you're putting in it, and your clients don't know what you're putting in it. Hopefully nothing. Don't be adding nicotine and flavors to that.
All right, well, we thank you for coming today. Our next seminar will be at 2, and we're going to, 1:30, 1:30, and we're going to be talking about battery safety and recycling, and just how we as vapors are affecting the environment and what we can do to help that.
And definitely, I will say, I would definitely learn about the battery solutions. I actually learned about that yesterday. It actually makes a lot of sense from a carbon footprint standpoint, and I'm going to take it back to the underwriters and see what we can do after talking with them yesterday, is offering a discount, or if someone uses this product, it's huge. And with listening to it, it makes a lot of sense. And then you don't have shoeboxes full of batteries that aren't taped up.
I was the shoebox girl. I used to have that.
Please just at least put tape on the end of them.